Hey everyone, Lisa Salvatore here, talking about Uranus Retrograde. Okay, so we've been talking a lot about Uranus the last couple of weeks and months because Uranus has been extremely potent. And Uranus is currently at 18 degrees of Taurus, and today is August 15th that I'm recording this video. And Uranus is getting ready to station retrograde, which means that Uranus is slowing down. And when the planets slow down and get ready to station one way or the other, their energy tends to ramp up, heighten, increase, amplify. And one of the many things that Uranus rules over is the weather patterns. Uranus is the god of lightning, okay? He rules over electricity. Now, the past week or so, there's been a lot in the news going on by ways of people losing power. Also, crazy lightning. I have seen some crazy bolts of lightning the last couple of weeks. And I'm like, even one time I was driving and I saw it and it kind of freaked me out because I've never seen lightning the way that I've seen it the last couple of weeks. It's intense. I'm sure you're noticing it. I'm sure everyone's noticing it. But anyway, Uranus is the sky god. He's the god of lightning, amongst many things. And he's about to station retrograde. So he can get a little angry, he can get a little contentious. We may hear more in the way of volcanoes and hurricanes and flooding, earthquakes. Sometimes this is more of the emotional kind versus physical. But yeah, there's definitely a lot of seismic activity. There's definitely a lot of things that are happening. Uranus is rockin' and rollin'. Okay, so on August 24th, 9:54 a.m. to be exact Eastern Time, Uranus will station retrograde at 18 degrees 55 minutes of Taurus. Uranus retrograde lasts about 5 months. And the thing about retrogrades in general is that they are a time of stepping back, of going inward, of reevaluating, recognizing, and then realigning. And the positive side about Uranus retrograde is that because Uranus moves so quickly and disruptively, and it is the Great Awakener, and it is, it breaks us free. It's a big change agent of change. It's liberation. But oftentimes it brings with it a shock element, right? An unexpected, very unexpected lightning bolt, okay? But the nice thing about Uranus retrograde is that it can actually slow us down, and it can actually show us more clearly our blind spots or where we haven't been seeing things for the truth. It could also really help us to break free from what has been holding us back personally. It will become more clear under the Uranus retrograde what's been holding us back personally. This is about being true and being genuine to yourself and with yourself. And if you use it that way, the true liberation, which is a key word for Uranus, the true liberation can occur. It's a time where we're dealing with some tough but necessary decisions about maybe breaking us out and breaking us free from somewhere, something, someone. It becomes painstakingly obvious where we might have been staying stuck or playing it safe or playing it small. Also reevaluating our money because Uranus is in Taurus, and Taurus rules over our financials, our value system. Also see that globally, of course, and we will see that globally. But you can even feel that your confidence gets a boost while Uranus is retrograde. So this is one of the retrogrades that, it's, dare I say, not as disruptive because Uranus is always disruptive enough, right? It will be retrograde until January 22nd of 2023, by the way, from August 24th through January 22nd. Now remember, Uranus rules over electricity. Uranus is also very electric, also very psychological. It can really have us rethinking our goals, our life purpose, our life mission. Now, if you have anything between 14 and 18 degrees, especially fixed, which is Taurus, Scorpio, Leo, and Aquarius, you're going to really be feeling this. And you have been feeling it. But now Uranus is really, zoning in on you. It's asking you, it's kind of stepping its foot down on the gas and saying, okay, I'm going to ask you to speed up, but at the same time, I'm going to ask you to slow down, which is Uranus, because Uranus is very eccentric. It doesn't operate in the norm. Even in the solar system, it spins on its side. It does not operate in any kind of a normal way. You can't box Uranus in. And if you try to, that's where you get the very disruptive aspect, the very disruptive element to Uranus. Now, this is also going to be a time of personal and political revolutions, no doubt about it. It's already happening. We are going to see more of it. Aviation as well, because Uranus rules over aviation. And let's not forget that it's getting closer and closer into an exact square with Saturn in Aquarius, which will be exact in October. But as we move towards that, there could be a lot more structural issues around electricity, around aviation, things kind of slowing down or having some disruption to them, which we're already seeing. There's been a lot of things going on with the airline industry, with flights. Also, let's not forget the internet, electricity, and the internet. Uranus rules over all of this. But the most important thing to keep in mind with Uranus is that it really, ultimately, at the end of the day, seeks to free us, and it seeks to bring us higher. Uranus rules the higher mind, so it really does seek to bring us forward and to bring us up and out and to view things differently and to do away with the old paradigms so that we can make way for the new, which is exactly what's happening right now as things seem to collapse around us. Yes, it's uncomfortable, but it's necessary to get us higher. Again, it's that whole tough but necessary component. So again, this is for all of us to really slow down and rethink our purpose, what we're doing. But especially if you've got anything between 14 and 18 degrees of the fixed signs, which is Taurus, Scorpio, Leo, and Aquarius, you're definitely going to be feeling this energy that much stronger. One of the most important ways, or things rather, that you can remember under this energy is that at the bottom of it all, what's really there when you strip it all away is, what is my truth? What is the truth? Like, what is it that I am not being authentic to myself about? Am I living for other people? Am I staying here for this person? Am I doing this for that? What about me? Like, this is the whole thing with Uranus. It's your retrograde. It's like, okay, let's backtrack and let's see. Let's slow down, right? Look at the way we've been doing things. And if you don't feel that anything needs to shift, that's great. But you more than likely do. Now, if you're a Taurus rising, this is going to be in your first house, okay? So this is going to have you rethinking the way you do life in general, because the first house is the self. It's your expression. It's who you truly are. It's how you put your energy out into the world. So you're going to be really rethinking how you are out in the world if you are Taurus rising. For Gemini rising, it's going to take place in your 12th house of behind the scenes. So you're probably going to really be reevaluating your alone time, the way that you do things, the way you handle pain, the way you handle loss, the way you may block yourself, the way your own confidence might be being thwarted by other people. The 12th house rules over hidden enemies, right? Whether that be a person or a group. You may just have a strong pull and desire to really go inward and just be alone and do a lot of spiritual seeking, and spiritual enlightenment could really come through for you under this Uranus retrograde transit. Cancer rising, this is your 11th house of your groups and your friendships and your associations. Leo rising, this is your 10th house of your public image, your career, your face out in the world, your reputation, your legacy. Virgo rising, this takes place in your 9th house, which is the house of long distance travel, foreign travel, politics, religion, philosophy, faith, expansion, education, publishing, the law, lots of different areas for each house. What is your stance on all of these things if you're a Virgo rising? Where have you been limiting yourself? Where do you need to set yourself free? Libra rising, this is your 8th house of deep emotional and psychological underpinnings. This is also the house of loans and finances and banking and other people's money, debt, taxes. So if you are dealing with situations that fall here, you're going to really have to slow down and take a look at this, for better or worse. Scorpio rising, this is your 7th house of partnership, mutuality, contracts, negotiations. Where do you need to do things a different way? Where do you need to let go and where do you need to give in? Especially when it pertains to other people that you're sharing with, that you're working with. For Sagittarius rising, this is your 6th house of daily habits and routines, your health. Capricorn rising, this is your 5th house of children and love and romance and pleasure and creative expression. Aquarius rising, this will be your 4th house of home and family and foundation and childhood. Also our security systems, financial and emotional. Pisces rising, this is your 3rd house of communication and siblings and short distance travel, so transportation, also your community. And Aries, for you, this is your 2nd house of self-worth and money. So again, remember, anything that comes up under Uranus retrograde from August 24th through January 22nd of 2023 that feels like it's challenging you and it feels like it's pushing down on you, it is. But there's a reason behind it. So go deeper with it and see what it's trying to teach you. What is the lesson? When it feels like an earthquake, an internal earthquake, stop and really honor that and understand and notice what it's trying to show you about yourself or about the situation that you're involved in. Because this is what's going to give you the opportunity to do things a different way. Again, to individualize yourself, right? That's what Uranus is all about. Liberation, individualization, revolution, awakenings. It's called the Great Awakener. Uranus is the Great Awakener. I always find it so interesting how Aquarius, the sign of Aquarius, is ruled by both Saturn and Uranus, okay? Saturn being the traditional ruler of Aquarius, while Uranus is the modern day ruler of Aquarius. And Saturn and Uranus are like, totally opposite. Saturn is out there and he's cold and he's like, he's distant and he's, he wants us to do the right thing at all costs and he wants to keep our structures tight. He wants to make sure everything's done appropriately, right? And then Uranus is just like coming in, spinning on its side, and it just flips things upside down and shakes us out to shake us free and liberates us in some form or fashion. And Saturn's standing there with its stern eyes looking down like, what are you doing? But that's what makes Aquarius so individual and so eccentric and like this zany genius, right? Because there's a little bit of that in every Aquarian. So there's something to be said about that. Really think about that. These two energies can harmonize. There's usually shock value that's attached to it and change that comes out of it. And I always say about Uranus, and you've probably heard me say it a million times, Uranus will leave you better than you're found. It may flip you upside down and have you floundering, but eventually you will land on your feet. And when the dust settles, and you may have some bruises, it might not feel good, but when you look back on it, you recognize that without that shift of your consciousness, without that physical change that came in, without this, that, or the other thing, whatever area it is for you, without that happening, it wouldn't have taken you to your next space. It wouldn't have brought you higher. It wouldn't have brought you up in another level of your consciousness. It wouldn't have done that for you because Uranus is the higher mind. It wants to liberate us again. It's constantly seeking us to. It's constantly seeking to show us. And listen, Uranus is going to be in Taurus until 2026. So, again, Taurus is an earth sign that doesn't really want things to change. But Uranus is in Taurus changing everything, especially when it comes to our financial systems, especially when it comes to the way that we utilize our Earth's resources, the way that we preserve them or don't. Also things of the natural order. Lots coming up about the climate. Yeah, there's still a lot that's going to change over the next couple of years. We are in it. So look at where you can be an innovator in your own life by where Uranus is going to be retrograde for you. And remember, the rest of August, the sun is in Virgo, so it's asking us to slow down, calm down, settle in, see how we can make things better. And that's also what Uranus retrograde is wanting us to do. It may just have a different way of getting us there. And oftentimes that's by way of disruption. Yeah, I know I say buckle your seatbelt. I guess I'm going to still say the same thing because we are dealing with Uranus. But always remember that Uranus seeks to leave us better than we're found on every single level. Take really good care of yourselves, and I'll be back soon with another video. Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and smash the bell icon so that you are notified as I upload videos, because you will not be notified if you do not hit that bell icon. Also, feel free to sign up for my newsletter, lisasalvatore.com. If you follow me, you know that I am not just an astrologer. I'm a psychic. I'm a medium. I kind of do a little bit of everything, and I also do groups and private consultations. You can find all of that on my website, lisasalvatore.com. And take care, guys. Bye.